Music Production.
Yo, alright, it's poppin'. We're gonna break down Ethereum and Bitcoin real quick. Zoomed in, we're on the daily time frame. Alright, we got nice volume coming in here this past week. Right, so it's October 31st. Well, I'm recording this and it's October 30th, but by the time people are watching this, it'll be October 31st. So happy Halloween, right? This probably leads exactly around 1 year from when this bear market started, right? So we topped out, yeah, it was pretty much like early November, right? Late October is when we topped out here on Ethereum. Same thing with Bitcoin. So it's 1 full year of a bear market, right? So we could also be looking at this chart, now that I mention it, right? We could be looking at it like this. Before we get all excited, could be looking at it like this, right? Where this is actually our 1 year line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get rejected again from here, right? So before we get all hot and horny, excited that this is, oh yeah, it's the bottom, right? That could be the case. Meanwhile, we'll keep that there, and we'll look at it from the perspective that it is a breakout, because I do think either way that it is a good buy opportunity for both Ethereum and Bitcoin if you are a long-term holder, right? So this is what we're looking at here. We have regained the 8 EMA on the daily time frame. We've broken up over this massive trend line or downward channel, so you could look at, right? That's been holding us back. We've created a higher low on like a weekly time frame from back in June up until now, right? This is like October, late September, right? So we've created a higher low. You could potentially look at it like this, right? That we could be doing something like this into this resistance zone that's been holding us back since May, right? We can't break up over this 2K zone since May. We've had as high as coming right back up to 2K, and then we tried to push 17, and now we're here, right? 15. So we're looking at this now, right? Are we going to hold the 8 EMA as we zoom in and just casually grind up like this, right? Is that going to happen? Potentially. Are we going to continue upward, go up there right now, and then reject? That could also potentially happen. We could also go down right now, back test this trend line, and then get the push, right? So right there is a few different scenarios that could go down when we're looking at the next few weeks. I just think the significance of all this volume coming in is telling us that, like, you know, these levels are being respected, even if we are going to go below them in a while. There's people buying. That's how I think of it. And we've tried to set up this base, right? So when we look at Ethereum, right, this is, again, normal chart, massively crushed. It looks catastrophic, but when we go to the log chart, and I'll do this again with Bitcoin as well, and we'll delete that and ignore some of these tools for now, but if we're looking at it just like this, we're intact. It looks like we're trying to develop some sort of a base. We've gone as low as 929, close to that area. If we plan to come back down there again, potentially, I would look at that as a buy, right? A potential double bottom before we continue upward for a massive trend. That's potential on ETH. Now, when we look at Bitcoin, right, we're going to start off, we're looking at the log chart. We're completely intact here, right? In terms of the trend, we are completely intact. Like, we could straight up look at it. Yeah, it's already there. Perfect. Look at this, right? We have our low, our high, our higher low, our higher high, and we could be developing our higher low in this zone right now. And it doesn't mean that it's going to happen like this, right? Oh, it's happening right now, and now we're going to go to the moon. Yay. I mean, that'd be fantastic, but I doubt that's the case. Look how long this higher low took, right? We were here, complete bottom, This is late 2018, but then we came for a huge revisit into that zone, right? Even though if it was might have been 1 week or 2 weeks, but back in 2020 we came back into this area to revisit. And think of it, man, that's 2-3 years. So if this is going to take another 2-3 years, it could be into, you know, 2023, maybe 2024, where we're still in, this big zone right here, right? That could be the case. And if that is the case, I really wouldn't hate it. I really wouldn't, because this is what's going to be our launch pad, where we develop this massive accumulation area before we get that huge push, right? Again, keep in mind the limited supply, right? The Bitcoin halving. There's also like elections, right? The 2024 elections. Will Bitcoin have like influence in the elections? Are the presidential candidates going to be like, promoting it and using it as like their their tool? That could be the case. That could cause a lot of hype. There's so many different things that could cause hype in this space, right? Um, it, I can go on about a bunch of them, but specifically from a technical perspective, because that's what this channel is. I'm mostly focused on this log chart on a weekly time frame to be accumulating in this zone, right? Just to give an idea here. In this zone, for anyone who's like watching and they can't really visually see this, it's anywhere from like pretty much like I'm thinking of it. Even if we come down into like this 10K range is what I'm thinking. Because look how we dipped, right? Massive dip there, massive dip there. We really haven't had that huge catastrophic dip yet that could bring us as far as 10K. So that's why I want to kind of be aware of it. But this is that zone, right? How long we're in there, we don't know. Again, keep in mind another thing that could aid into being a catalyst is central bank digital currencies. I'm not sure if that's the correct acronym or not, but you got to keep in mind that by the U.S. legalizing or adopting and creating these bills to adopt, their stable coins and things like that, it's going to aid into the adoption of the rest of the crypto space, including Bitcoin, especially because it's the OG, right? Um, oh man, there's so many things about the space. I'm going a little bit deeper and trying to learn as much as I can, because I do think that this time is super valuable. Um, and I think it's a great period of time. And in fact, it's given me exact flashbacks to like right before 2020 in 2019. Um, I was balls deep learning about the markets, and then there's of course the rumblings of the market and all this coronavirus stuff, and then watching that unfold over 4 to 5, 6 months, and then being primed in March for that market bottom. I'm starting to get that feeling again, where it's like it might not be right now, but um, the bottom could be soon. If it isn't now, it could be coming soon. So it'll be very key to be paying attention in the next few weeks. But yeah, that's the crypto breakdown for Bitcoin and Ethereum this week. Peace.